The Wolf and the Goat. One day, a wolf was walking from place to place and saw a goat eating grass on a cliff. The wolf thought for a while with his mouth watering and approached the goat. Then the wolf said to the goat, "Look, I have something important to say to you. Why don't you come over here? It looks a bit dangerous up there. Also, you can eat a lot more grass here." But the goat said, "I'm sorry, but if I go over there, you will eat me. So, if you really want to talk to me, come over here. I'll stay here." The horns and legs of a deer. A deer was drinking at a pond, and seeing his reflection, said to himself, "Wow, I have such beautiful horns, but my legs are so skinny." And he grumbled about his skinny legs. One day, a hunter chased him, and he ran for his life. In the end, the deer was able to save his life because of his fast legs. He breathed a sigh of relief. "Ha ha, nobody can catch me." But no sooner had he said these words than his big, beautiful horns got caught in a thorn bush. He tried to get out of the thorn bush, but ended up being caught by the hunter's dogs. He got in trouble because of the horns he was so proud of after all. The Big Proud Fish. Some little fish and a big fish were swimming near each other in the sea. The big fish always bothered the little fish. He looked down at the other fish and laughed. "Look at me. Aren't you jealous of my big, beautiful appearance? Ha ha ha." One day, a fisherman showed up and spread a net. A few days later, the fisherman drew up the net. At that moment, the little fish were able to swim through the net, but the big, proud fish was caught. The big fish said to the little fish that escaped, "Hey, children, I'm really sorry for looking down at you and being so proud of myself." The Regret of the One-Eyed Deer. A one-eyed deer stayed near the sea because of his weak sight. He always kept staring at the land with his one good eye to watch out for hunters and lions. On the other hand, he always stared at the sea with his bad eye. "I must look carefully for fear that something dangerous might come out of the forest." One day, a hunter passing by found the deer on a cliff. What good fortune! The hunter fired at the deer. Bang! And it fell to the ground. The deer breathed with difficulty and said, "I was so stupid to watch just one side. I never imagined this could happen." But it was too late to be sorry. The Little Goat and the Wolf. One spring day, a little goat was warming himself in the sun on a roof. He said to himself, "I feel warm and sleepy." At this moment, the goat saw a wolf passing by. The goat hit upon a good idea. It will be fun to bother that wolf. Besides, it's safe up here. The little goat shouted at the wolf, "Hey wolf, catch me. I am not afraid of you. Catch me, please." The wolf looked quietly at the goat and said, Goat, you can shout at me now, not because of your bravery, but because of where you are. Just come down here, and then shout at me again." The little goat turned pale, and the wolf just kept on going. The Lioness and Her Family. In the forest, many animals talked about who had the biggest family and boasted about how many babies they could have. A rabbit said, "I can have 5 babies at once." A dog said, "I can have 7. Suddenly, the rabbit approached a lioness and asked her, "How many babies can you have at once?" The lioness answered, "Just 1." The rabbit and the other animals laughed at the lioness. But the lioness said to them, "That 1 baby, however, will become a lion." As soon as they heard this, all of them stopped laughing. The Wolf and the Lamb. A wolf and a lamb were drinking water at a stream. The lamb was playing in the water, which the wolf thought was unpleasant to look at. So he decided to hurt the lamb. "Hey, why do you keep making this water dirty?" The lamb answered, "What? I'm just playing." Soon, the wolf made another excuse to hurt the lamb. "Yeah, well, I heard you've been talking behind my back for the last year." The lamb answered, "But I wasn't even born a year ago." The wolf didn't give up. Maybe it was your father talking about me, which is the same as if you did it." The wolf finally jumped on the poor lamb. The Eagle and the Arrow. An old eagle was taking a nap on an old tree. A loud noise made him wake up. When the eagle looked down, there was an Indian hunter holding a bow with an arrow. The eagle was so afraid that he tried to fly away, but he saw the arrow and was sure he was going to die. The eagle watched the arrow and groaned in pain. But after a short while, the eagle was surprised. There were eagle feathers on the end of the arrow. "I am not disappointed because I'm going to die, but because the arrow is made with eagle feathers," he said. The Excuse of the Trumpeter. A trumpeter became a prisoner and was sent to be hanged. He cried for mercy. "Everybody, I am not to blame. I didn't kill anybody. I just blew a trumpet in the battle." He cried as the hangman answered coldly, "That's why you have to be hanged. You made people fight." Hearing his words, the trumpeter hung his head in shame. The Doctor and the Patient. A family was crying about their dead family member at a funeral. Their family doctor attended the funeral. He offered words of comfort to the family. "I'm so sorry, but if he had not been drinking so much and was treated with more care, he wouldn't have died." One of the family members said coldly, "Doctor, it's no use talking like that now. You should have taken good care of him when he was alive." The doctor couldn't say anything. The Old Lady and Her Maid. A maid worked for an old lady. The old lady always woke up early, and so the maid had to start work early in the morning. The tired maid began thinking, if that rooster didn't crow at dawn, I wouldn't have to get up so early. What if I kill the rooster? So, the maid secretly killed the rooster. Now I can sleep late. But guess what? The next morning, the old lady woke her up at all times of the morning because now there was no rooster to wake the old lady up at the same time. Time to wake up, but it's only 2 a.m. And then, a while later, wake up now, please. But it's only 3 a.m. now. Travelers on the beach. 2 men were walking along the beach when something showed up out at sea. The men stopped and looked at it for a while. They started to talk to each other. Look, a big ship is coming in. No, that's a big whale. They argued with each other. Meanwhile, the thing in the sea was getting closer and closer. Hey, it's not a big ship, but a small boat. No, I think it's a big tuna fish. They continued to fight. After a moment, the thing was finally right in front of them. When they looked closely at it, they saw it was just a pile of wood.